if you're not given the height of a triangle and you're trying to find the area, of course the area is what? 1/2 the base times the height. So this right here is the base, let's say. Okay. This could be the base as well. The 6 could be the base as well. We don't really know for sure, but because this one's on the bottom of the picture, we'll use that one as the base, okay? And the height is actually the distance from this corner, this vertex of the triangle, down to the base where it forms a 90-degree angle. So this is the height, and we don't know what the height is. You see that? But we are given the fact that the base is 7 and the side length here on the triangle is 6. So we have to find the height, and what you should notice is that we actually have, and I'm going to redraw this part right here, we actually have a right triangle that's inside this triangle, where this side is 6, and this side right here is what? Yeah, if this is an equilateral triangle, we can assume this is half of 7, okay? So we'll say that this triangle is isosceles at least, and so that these two halves are the same, and this is going to be 3.5. Okay, so this takes a little bit of work here for this one. We have to find the height first before we can find the area. So Pythagoras says that when we square the length of the two legs of the right triangle, that is the sides that make the 90-degree, then that equals the square of the hypotenuse. Or if you remember this, a squared plus b squared equals c squared, right? So let's say that this one is a, so that's going to be 3.5 squared, plus, now this one we don't know what this is, so this is going to be h, so it's going to be h squared, equals 6 squared. All right, so you with me here so far, everyone? Start with Pythagoras, and if you're trying to find the height, you set it up just like this, and then you realize, then you see here that, hey, I need to get this quantity over here. I need to get this on the other side of the equation because I want to get h all by itself. I want to find out what h is. So let's do this. Let's subtract 3.5 squared from both sides. And then they will cancel out over here. And then I have h squared on this side equals 6 squared minus 3.5 squared. Now, we can use our calculator to figure this out now. I think that'd be a good idea. So that's going to be 36 minus, what's 3.5 squared? 3.5 squared. 12.25. 12.25. So h squared is actually equal to 23.75. Okay? So if you do 36 minus 12.25, you get 23.75. All right, so I've got h squared, but I want to find out what just h is. Who remembers how I get just h all by itself here now? Anybody remember how to get this? One hand going up. You want to give it a try? Yeah. If we want to get rid of a square on a variable, we take the square root. Very good. So we take the square root of h squared. That's going to give us just h. And that means we have to take the square root of the other side as well. So in working with Pythagoras to find the length of one of the sides of a triangle, you have to take the square root at some point. So let's bring this up over here now. So that's going to be just h equals, and we can just do the square root of, so 23.75. Okay, we'll do the square root of that, which I should put this in the right order. So the square root of 23.75 is 4.87. Okay, so go to 2 decimal places if you're ever in doubt. That's what I usually recommend. So 4.87. All right, so that's a little bit of work to find h first, but now it's easy after this, right? Now it's easy. So I have h. That looks like a funny b, but that's supposed to be h. So now I can find my area. So I have the base that's given right here, and now I have the h. I've solved for that. Here's the h. So 1/2 7 times 4.87. 1/2 base times the new height that I just found. And you do that on your calculator. It shouldn't take too long. If you want to use the full decimal on your calculator, I always suggest that, because that'll be great. Because if you round answers throughout a long question, sometimes the end result, if you've rounded a whole bunch of numbers leading up to that, your answer might be a little off. So use the full decimals. It's always a good idea. So I'm going to do this number, full decimal, times 7, and then divided by 2, because that's what multiplying by 1/2 is just like. So 17.06, really. That's I'll round that to 2 decimal places. 17.06. All right. Okay, and then of course the units, centimeters squared. Okay, so that's 1D on your Intro to 1.4 worksheet. All right, so here's your 1.4 worksheet, and this is the solution to D that we just did. And I'll get you to do this worksheet for tomorrow's class and finish that up. And here are the 2 pages. Questions 1 to 3. Okay, and that's the intro to 1.4. We'll be doing composite shapes with triangular prisms and cylinders and circles and all sorts of stuff. All right.